For the next one.
I spent my available time going through the riparian or the floodplain stuff and did not sit through everything.
Ready whenever you. Or
I will call to order the meeting for the January 27th Streams of Wetlands Subcommittee. I'll call to order the Streams and Wetlands Subcommittee for January 27th. If the clerk could please call the roll.
Commissioner Heller,
aye.
Commissioner Slater,
Here.
Commissioner Tev here, Commissioner Vieira Brundell, absent.
Absent excused. All right, we'll go on to public comments. Is there any public comment? Looking at our member of the public, she's nodding no. All right, thank you. We are going to postpone the adoption of the minutes until the next meeting. And then we will turn to the discussion items, which is the review draft comment staff report. Well, we'll be reviewing the draft report. Okay, Commissioner Tem, I think you're going to take us away on this. And I want to thank you for doing the copy editing and additional editing that you've done in advance. I know that I have a couple comments as we go through this towards the end, but I will kind of let you take it away.
Okay. So I always prefer to edit towards the end of the document first because it doesn't mess up where in the document your things are. So if there's no opposition to that, we'll start from the
Want me
end.
to read your comments and then you make changes?
I mean, I can see.
Okay,
Yeah.
however you want to work it.
But I did have like one overarching comment, which just has to do with like the wording about the importance of each of the pieces of the what do we call it? Environmentally
Significant lands.
significant lands, right?
What page you need?
Yeah, just like the facts and findings. Yeah, the first page, we can just kind of look at that to start. Oh, I guess I can put it on here too. Is there a page down? But we'll go to page 2 at the bottom. Yeah, facts and findings. And my overarching comment is just that we say a lot of the same things in each category. And my personal preference is to either kind of summarize them at the beginning and say, here are all the benefits for all of them, or standardize the language, one or the other, so that we're saying like, and sometimes we say reducing something, sometimes we say mitigating it, you know, and like what I think being specific is helpful, but and I have specific edits for that. I don't know if we want to do that here live.
I think we have to do everything live.
Okay.
That's my impression.
So then I would like your both opinions on which would you rather. So like an overview with all of the benefits or like having them each in each category. Something that may not keep you up at night.
Review, and then maybe some specific.
So like one big list.
Yeah.
You're trying to distinguish between, so one big list as opposed to specific eco services for each type of,
Yes.
do they differ between different services?
Not a lot.
Not.
And I think some of them were just forgotten to be added on some of them.
Okay.
Yeah, like I kind of cross-checked all of them, and yeah, it's like similar language. I think you meant the same thing.
Sure.
You know, And I think,
If we don't lose anything by not including it in a specific function, specific category, then I'm very happy to have it all listed as one.
okay, cool.
How do we go about doing that? Do you have to type that out here?
We're gonna, I think so. I think, I think we're gonna, it shouldn't be crazy.
Okay.
But just add it all in this page 2 section under A1. So we have surface waters, we kind of break it up into surface waters and then vegetated buffers around riparian areas and wetlands. So if we put, you know, I feel like each of these fits into one or the other of those.
My suggestion on process would be for you to go ahead, write up what you think is the edit for it.
Okay.
And then we can follow along. And if we have questions or concerns, or if it's very complicated, you can explain it in advance.
Okay.
But I think you should just go for it.
Can I track?
The rest of us will open a novel
that?
and we'll.
Yes, how? View.
Oh, editing.
Oh.
Yep, right there. Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine. And then
There we
just
go.
turn off Everyone.
Righty. So. Okay. Okay. My one question on this, we used, the phrasing temperature mitigation was used a few times. Did we mean air or water temperature? And yeah,
So the history on this is that the material that I looked at, a fair amount of which was from European scholars, used the word climate mitigation.
mhm.
You had raised some concerns about climate mitigation as being,
Yeah, climate moderations in here.
so you suggest, I think, temperature moderation or temperature mitigation.
Regulation.
So we kind of have a couple different phrases that I think that are maybe different schools of scholarship on this.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I will defer to what you think is maybe the right phrase.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I guess, okay.
I've primarily understood this to be related to like broader phenomena in terms of air temperature.
Okay.
That's
Yeah, I'm like, well, what did you mean when you wrote the words? That's what my question is, I guess. Like, were you thinking about like mitigating climate change on the global level? Or like, were you talking about like cooling the air in this one area?
Well, I think it depends if we're talking about, are we talking about streams as an overall process, right? Because if you take all the world streams together, we're probably talking about climate
Mhm.
mitigation. So if you're talking about what is the broad function of a stream? Does the broad function of a stream have overall climate mitigation or climate moderation roles? Or are we talking about Salem-specific stream? So Salem-specific streams have, you know, a local temperature impact. So I don't know what words we want to use. If we're just, I was kind of describing in general what urban streams provide, not what a very specific Salem urban stream provided, unless we have
Okay.
that information.
Mhm.
So we know, for example, that a Salem urban stream can provide salmon habitat. So that's a very specific. That helpful?
Yeah, I added wildlife habitat. I think we could put both. It sounds like both.
Local climate mitigation, or do you want to say local? Well, do we use local and climate?
Yeah, I haven't read that study, I guess, about like a vegetated or like a riparian area affecting climate. I mean, it intuitively makes sense, but yeah, like, I think I'm more comfortable with like the local temperature
Then let's focus on that.
part. And that would be air temperature. So, and that could be,
That's soil temperature.
yeah, if it's vegetated.
Mm.
And water temperature, if it's vegetated. Okay. Sure. So we say moderation, regulation, and mitigation. Which one do I like?
To our audience, yes. How far is this gonna go?
I like moderation because, well, in like in the, it might be if you're holding a lot of water, it might be slightly warmer in the winter but cooler in the summer. You know, that whole the specific heat that the water holds kind of moderates the temperature. That works.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Decision made. Go over these other edits for this paragraph. So I just changed around to in riparian areas and wetlands. So vegetative buffers in riparian areas and wetlands are critical for filtering pollutants, stabilizing soils, infiltrating stormwater, and providing. This is clunky now. Providing groundwater recharge, fire risk reduction, air and water temperature moderation, and wildlife habitat.
Sounds great.
Cool. And then the other side of that would just be kind of wiping it out of the other parts. Going into each. Mhm. Yeah. That is. Or like a scrolly mouse, maybe. Okay.
I have a scrolly mouse.
Fire.
Is that okay, Lisa? Yeah. Plug that in.
Are you gonna,
Absolutely.
Okay.
you have a virus on it?
I don't think so.
We do, I know where to find you.
Good point. Good point. I'm vaccinated.
So. And then, okay, so, right below that on A3, same thing with temperature, just specifying higher average air and water temperatures. And that's all I had for that section. Oh, it's ready. Anybody else? Okay.
I
So,
appreciate you doing this.
yeah, no problem. B, rivers. So my,
Would you like a printed version? I also have a printed version. Okay.
I have one.
Oh, I could have got that. You don't have to.
No, thank you.
Okay, I'm realizing, so B2 would be where we wiped out this list of benefits. I'm realizing we should probably move this recreational, cultural, and educational opportunities back up to 1A. That works.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just gonna put it at the end of that first sentence, so surface water, blah, 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 and resistance to stress and disaster through through recreational, cultural, and education opportunities.
We moved that up.
Mhm.
Okay.
I just did some weird formatting. Okay. Oh, no, we'll just delete this. Because we're covering it above.
Do we want to? The microphone be on here? Okay. So should we be saying anything about the Willamette that's missing in light of just our recent floodplain report? I mean, this is a pretty light overview of the Willamette River. We don't talk about any development patterns. We don't talk about any damming. We don't talk about other habitat issues related to the Willamette. This is just that was not the primary focus of the report. It was more on the urban streams and wetlands. But are there things that you know of based on your experience, either of you, that we can incorporate into this? Or or hold it open until someone has a chance to develop something?
Yeah, I mean, I had notes later on about just like copying from that because it was so good.
What's so good?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Especially the wet prairie idea. And they have maps.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's just take those.
Exactly. Oh, it's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, we could hold it open if you want. And
Yeah,
I would
okay.
like.
Okay. So
Commissioner
I'm gonna
Villarreal's
take
take two.
okay, yep,
Mhm.
okay, so that means you, Commissioner Ted, are gonna create some content for this section?
Sure.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay. All right, great.
You took my pen.
I have my own pen. Do we want to say something about water quality? We do have reports on water quality. For the Willamette River.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I think that could be part of it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't know. I was just gonna copy. Do you, I don't know. They had a good water quality.
And I think I intended to, and maybe I did it someplace else, or maybe I did it in a version that I stopped working on so as not to create confusion. We do have a 75-foot riparian buffer on the Willamette River. I'm looking to Lisa to confirm that, yes. So that is a statement that I think we can add now, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So the city of Salem has established a 75-foot riparian buffer on the Willamette Valley on the Willamette River that limits or prohibits development.
I think it comes to us out of the Willamette Greenway chapter, so I don't think it's like a flat prohibition.
I don't think so either.
But you have to do an analysis of how you're
We can say
impacting. There's regulations around it.
Regulate,
Yes,
right.
correct.
And Lisa, when was the last time that was updated?
I don't know that it's been updated at all. It comes straight from state law requiring a Willamette Greenway,
Back in like
corridor plan.
1996?
79, I think that comes from the
79.
70s, our plans from the 70s, yeah.
Added, the city has, I don't know, if we're city or Salem,
The city of Salem, that's how,
or Salem.
city of Salem. They have enacted regulations, so what do you want to say? Right.
Has a 75-foot buffer around the Willamette River with associated regulations.
Say that again, please. I didn't quite catch it.
The city of Salem has a 75-foot buffer around the Willamette River with associated regulations.
Okay.
Good.
You get more specific if we want to.
Not right now, okay.
I think that's it. Onto streams.
Okay.
Okay, same kind of edits here.
Yeah.
So number 2, streams provide ecosystem services, including stormwater management, groundwater recharge, climate moderation, fire risk. So all of these are covered. So it's gonna wipe it. You're good. Okay. Oh, and I just had one. 91 miles of open streams, plural versus singular.
Mhm. Yep.
4, which is now 3. I was gonna add a sentence about, so we talk about, urban streams, but some of the streams come into the city already degraded
Correct.
from outside, so
Yep.
I just wanted to acknowledge that with a sentence.
Sure.
Streams entering the city,
And what kind of degradation are we talking about?
so already
I'd say the water
Mm.
quality is compromised.
degraded. Yeah.
Because
Yeah, have degraded water. Well, I mean, it could be all the things it just said.
well, if it's stream morphology, then it's not upstream that's relevant.
Well, it can't. Upstream
It could-
morphology concerning.
The cause.
Yeah.
Right.
But here's my proposed sentence. By upstream. That was my,
So what does it read?
streams entering the city of Salem may also already be degraded by upstream management. The sentence is emphasizing Salem's, or the sentence before emphasizes Salem's urban streams characterized by degraded stuff.
We're talking about waters.
Streams, yeah. Yeah, so we say
I guess I would say stream water quality.
art is degraded. So, okay, let's just read it all together. Streams running through Salem are significantly degraded. Salem's urban streams are characterized by altered hydrology, increased water temperatures, simplified channel morphology, hardened banks, turbidity, and contamination. Streams entering the city of Salem may also already be degraded by upstream management. So it's kind of just like saying all of those things.
But, okay, so I guess maybe the difference is that the list, the list are things that can be pointed to here in Salem that I know exist.
Mhm.
And I can't say about, I just know that the water quality coming into Salem is compromised. I don't know what like the cause of the compromise upstream.
Yeah. We don't need to say that, do we?
Okay.
I'm just saying that this is all true and they may have already come into Salem degraded.
I agree with you.
Okay. That's it for streams.
All right.
Riparian buffer. First edit was part D2. I wanted to say an adequately vegetated riparian buffers.
But aren't we getting rid of that?
Oh, you're right. Yep. Yep. That, delete it. Bye. Okay. And then I just had this, for the last part, D, it's 4 now. I just want to say at least 50 feet riparian buffers on streams.
Yes.
Limit ourselves.
For minimum, so for a minimum.
Yeah, a minimum works. $50-foot. Okay, get rid of that number 2 again.
Yep.
And then, yeah, this is where, I didn't have any other edits, I just thought it would be really cool to use the wet prairie idea.
Yeah, so we want to distinguish a wetland and a wet prairie, or we want to integrate wet prairie into the wetland definition? Or we want to add wet prairie?
Or even just substitute, but like, or we could say
Well-
including wet prairie. I don't know.
Well, I feel like wetlands has a very specific definition that the city has adopted, that the
Yes.
Army Corps of Engineers has adopted, so we should stick with that.
Yeah,
We could
okay.
add wetlands, we could add wet prairies
Mm-hmm.
to this list.
Well, yeah, so wet prairie would be a type of wetland.
Yes.
Could be a seasonal wetland or just a
It
type.
would meet the definition, probably, of inundated or saturated by surface water or groundwater at a frequency and duration sufficient to support hydrophytic, vegetation.
So it sounds like we need to do a little bit more research.
Yeah, it just came to me today.
Okay,
so,
fair enough. Fair enough.
But I guess maybe we should all chew on like, how does the wet prairie and that new mapping that we just found out about today play into our wetlands? So our current maps are what? It's
Yep,
your
let
soils.
me answer that question.
Sure.
The current wetlands map consists of a series of layers from various government officials, agencies related to mapped wetlands
Mhm.
or hydric soils.
Okay.
They're not limited to, nothing that we have says wet prairie.
Mhm.
Okay. But the presentation was mostly on floodplains. So they had a map of what the floodplain was.
Right, and that's
They
why they
didn't have-
excluded the wet prairies because they're potentially disconnected from the floodplain, from a specific water.
That seemed like a very case by case
Yeah,
discussion, because there certainly are a fair amount of prairie, what I would think of were originally wet prairies along Mill Creek that are probably still connected.
yeah.
So,
But some of the wet prairie species they didn't analyze for. Yeah.
right. So if we go to what is now several Salem listed species, so I'd use this listed species for a section that I removed. And listed species was meant to be listed either by the state or federal government as a species. Well, it's a challenge to identify what's a listed species because there are about 9 different lists.
Well, yeah, there's, federal ESA listed, then there's state threatened and endangered.
There's state, federal, right, there's federal, state and endangered, state
Threatened.
threatened and endangered. There's also species of concern for the state. And then we have Willamette Valley key species.
And see,
But
the international treaty that we're in,
Right.
cities or however you pronounce it, so.
Right. So I don't have a definition in here, or I was unclear how we want to demarcate a set of species to discuss.
Mm-hmm. And that is,
So
so
this
it's not
is-
in.
Right,
That's what you're
right.
telling me.
So what we don't have is a way to refer to a specific group of critters
Mhm.
that we're interested in, other than salmon, which has its already pre-existing list.
Yeah,
So the challenge I had in kind of creating a list was not so much in distinguishing, not identifying the total species that could be on the list,
Mhm.
but the species that are most likely to be in an urban area,
Oh, okay,
right? Because there are a number of species out there that's simply just not viable in an urban area, so we wouldn't really
Right.
develop a plan to try and consider them.
Yes, yep.
Right. So that's kind of the issue with how we deal with species.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you like to do with what is now E2?
Right.
So the point was to say the wetlands are important at some point in the life cycle of these various critters, but we don't have a critter list to refer to.
And you don't want to use the one that was just
yeah. what
presented?
about that? They provide,
I think that was extremely narrow,
okay,
extremely narrow.
okay,
I mean, what it came down to 2 species,
yeah,
when in fact, potentially it's a dozen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of my concerns that I shared with the report, is that I think they completely undersold the importance of the floodplain in terms of species preservation.
yes,
So I don't want to replicate that. I mean, I'm happy to use, I think it's very helpful that they have mapping data that we can incorporate, so we all are using the same maps.
Mhm.
But I think their species list was unfortunately short.
Okay,
And maybe it was just because it was a federal floodplain assessment, but we're not limited to just federal.
right, ESA species.
Right. So I think we need to figure out how we identify the species that we're discussing. And then within those, we need to identify kind of what their habitats are. So do we just want to hold that open?
Yeah,
Okay,
I do soil.
hold open. All right. Okay.
Now, you, you want to concentrate just on the urban.
Well, we're dealing with Salem,
Yeah,
right? So
But-
this is recommendations for Salem.
yeah,
So we wouldn't want to say like Salem has a responsibility or has an opportunity to protect northern spotted owl, which can't live. Here.
yes, I know, I.
Yeah, so I
I
think,
understand that. I'm just saying that a lot of Salem isn't urbanized, well, semi-urbanized.
I mean, like the spotted owl needs like 100 acres of uninterrupted old growth forest.
Yeah.
We just don't
I
have that
get
here.
that,
Yeah.
but I'm thinking about is that frog? Red feet, red-toed frog, I don't know, I don't remember the name of it, but we had them in our pond, in our backyard.
I think that we should look at species that make a state or federal list
Okay,
that are viable within an urban environment. Well, I
I
mean,
mean, because we're not all I mean, it's not all downtown Salem. Now, I understand the suburbs are urban, but there's a lot of vacant land.
the vacant land is going to either be developed
Yeah,
or it's going to be purchased and set aside.
okay,
So, I mean, the largest thing that we have is Minto Brown,
right,
right?
yeah, and that's already,
So that's,
Yeah.
so we're really talking about what can inhabit. Well, I can give you Fender's blue butterfly. I
Yes.
can give you an example here because I've looked at that for the city. You need about 12 acres of Fender blue habitat to have a viable population of Fender's blue.
okay,
If you can't get 12 acres, you're not gonna be able to restore a Fender's blue population.
okay,
So you can do that here in Salem, because we do have plenty of patches that are publicly owned
mm-hmm,
or that are privately managed that could support that habitat.
right,
So I would say that's why I made a point about Fender's blue.
yeah,
But you can't do northern spotted owl.
no, I agree with that.
So I think just in that list, that's what I mean by viable.
Mm-hmm,
You just have to have enough habitat
mm-hmm,
to make it viable.
okay,
Does that make sense?
I
Melissa,
think
Chris-
that you're talking about it like it's fact or fiction, like it's true or false, whether you could have a species, and there are people who dedicate their professions to that and still don't know. So I don't know if we're in the position to talk about. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just saying I feel uncomfortable with how deep we're getting into this
yeah,
conversation.
So how do we, so,
what's the boundary?
well, I guess that's what, so how do you want to talk about species? We don't?
I mean, we haven't yet.
Why are we preserving lands? No, so it's not a species
It
take on
just
this.
says- I mean,
Ecosystem services.
it's wildlife habitat. You can say it's wildlife habitat without saying which.
Conservation ecology.
I don't know. I feel like I was not prepared to have this philosophical talk tonight. I have
Okay.
a specific
Okay,
edit.
Let's go
to the
through your
document.
edits. All right.
Yeah.
Okay,
But I agree that we should figure that out.
Okay, so that's next on the agenda. Species in the Willamette River. Okay,
Well, yeah, and I wouldn't limit it to water, aquatic species.
I agree.
yeah,
All right, okay, floodplains. So this came up today, the 1% chance of flooding. Do we want to say like also known as a special floodplain hazard area, or is it's not, that's what it is, right? Or do we want to not cross-reference?
We can, no, I mean, this is taken right from FEMA, so we can just add.
Okay.
You want to do also known as?
I was gonna say per FEMA models originally, but I think special, now that we have that language. Heard FEMA before this?
I don't think so.
Okay. Environmental risk management, right?
Federal
Or
Emergency Management Agency.
Emergency, yeah. can make up an acronym like.
Replace a whole federal department then.
Okay. Um,
We're getting rid of 2.
yeah, I guess so.
So then you get to get rid of Federal Emergency Management Agency and what is now
Right.
2.
I could have just copied.
So what is now F3, I think, isn't included in earlier, but I think it's worthwhile to include here.
What's up? This F3 or this F?
What is now F3, yeah.
Sure, yeah. Okay. I had for the last bullet here, development in the floodplain increases the risk and severity of flooding, poses a threat to health and human safety. And increases instead of contributes, increase. Pollutants to streams and rivers.
Sure.
Pollutants, I was gonna say, and stormwater runoff. Okay,
Right?
green spaces,
Yes.
open spaces, I saw G. Just natural areas. For bullet 2.
He owns and manages, what do we,
Yeah, so
what-
the last, so yeah. Minto Island Park accounts for 1,216 acres or 87% of natural areas.
yes, gotcha.
Yep. And then do we want to add golf courses and cemetery acreage?
Yes, I have that data and I will include that data.
Okay, I'll just write a note.
Add data, okay. Okay. Add data.
I had nothing for wildlife habitat.
Okay.
Go to lakes.
Yep.
I was gonna say are naturally created, but then for the first bullet, but they aren't in Salem. So never mind.
That's right.
No, they're not. And we don't really have, I guess lakes are separate from ponds here because there's an argument that ponds are a very distinct
Mhm.
thing.
Right.
And so I've separated out lakes. I mean, lakes are not particularly relevant in Salem, except I guess as potential ponds. Talked about wild, turtle ponds, right? So I don't really know how to deal with lakes.
Yeah.
Any suggestions?
No, I just had some pencil whipping,
Okay,
so.
well, we can get rid of 2, right?
Yep. Good then.
Do we want to just bother not counting lakes? I mean, we could just say that, right, this is our facts and findings. We could say that Salem lakes are not particularly relevant.
Well, how many lakes do we have?
I don't know.
Well, there was some on the presentation we had today, they were talking about gravel mining and
Yeah.
reclaiming them. So I'm kind
Yes.
of like, let's keep them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then they jive better with the 2 plans or 2.
So we're gonna leave that open
Yeah,
and we need to add some language related to gravel. Let's call them gravel pits. So just so we have something different than ponds,
instead of lakes,
Yeah.
right?
so call them gravel pits.
Let's just make sure whatever we call them, it's not a pond.
It's not.
It's a lake.
Okay, okay, good.
I was happy with lakes.
Okay.
Even if they're just old gravel
Yeah.
operations.
Yeah.
Pencil edit. So we're on I, right? 4 now, was 5. Lake Worth is stocked with fish,
Yep.
I assume.
Mhm.
Fish by ODF and W. Oh yeah, by instead of view. For the last bullet.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, if we wanted to do, I didn't check if this is the first time we use it, but we. Okay. I didn't get to the White Grove. I feel
Okay.
like
Mhm.
Lisa, do we have a white grove? Do we have a definition of Oregon white groves in the city code? I
No,
no, but we do regulate groups of trees.
no,
No.
no. And the significant trees are either if they're riparian, and then outside of that, if they're significant based on the size, there's nothing about groves.
Okay, so individual trees based on size
Yeah.
are protected,
Yes,
but groups of Oregon white trees are not protected in Salem.
right. There's no
Just
grove
because they're-
protections.
Because they're a
Right.
grove.
Yeah, you might be thinking that when we did the tree code updates, we had a draft that had some language in there and we couldn't quite
Define it.
get it there. Yeah, yeah.
It's tough.
And so we left it out and yeah.
Yeah. Share that.
somebody knows.
I'll do some research on Grove and it might be, right. I would think that because we're saying something doesn't necessarily mean that we want to have new regulations for something. So that also, I think, is relevant here. So, we can define it loosely, knowing that we're not going to try and create any regulation that's going to be contested over it. We can just say these Oregon white
Already
groves
protected with the.
with the individual tree, right, right. So maybe just clarify this one a little bit. Okay,
And then, yeah, that's all I had. Well, that's just one bullet, so.
can we go back to ponds?
Sure.
So you're a soil scientist and know wetlands. So to what extent is a pond not a wetland?
Depends on who you ask.
We're asking you as the qualified member of the
Yes.
committee.
Well, in the Army Corps of Engineers method as a, I do Food Security Act wetland determinations, and we use a modified Army Corps definition, and ponds are too deep is the short answer. They do not, it's not hydrophytic vegetation, it's submergent vegetation or emergent. So they're too deep
So,
to be a wetland. They're non-wetland. Or
okay, so if
open
they're
water.
open water with
Mhm.
submergent,
Submerged aquatic vegetation. There's all
Mhm.
kinds of different ways to say
Yeah.
it, but yeah, emergent, I think.
submerged, okay, that seems. So one of the challenges that we have on this is that Salem doesn't have like lake body definitions. So we have things that look like they have open water, but really there probably could be a wetland. They don't distinguish between wetlands and ponds. So if we look at it like a map of Minto Island, we could say, is that a pond? Is that a wetland? And it's not really defined that way. So it's hard to figure that out in terms of describing it.
That's the, yeah, $1 million question.
So do you have a recommendation on how we should handle that? I,
Well, using a consistent data source, right?
yeah.
We're not mapping this. Someone else would be, right?
Right.
Yeah. So then they would need to like use a standard method, and there would be a threshold in that method, and
Okay, so in that, if we look at that, Salem doesn't have ponds. They don't have a definition of ponds,
okay.
and they haven't taken an inventory of anything that they classify as ponds. So we would just say Salem has no ponds.
Salem has no mapped ponds,
Yeah.
Salem has no map
no
ponds.
pond inventory.
Should they make a distinction when they do wetlands between wetlands and ponds? Or if it's a wetland, it is not a pond then?
Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah, no, they're mutually exclusive. By most definitions, they're gonna be
It's
mutually
gonna be a
exclusive.
wetland or a pond.
Yes,
Okay. So, but it should not
maybe
be,
the edge of the pond would be a wetland.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, right? Okay,
Yeah,
so
but then
that-
you get to a certain depth and it's pond. Yeah.
so we can say that Salem has no mapped wetlands, no mapped ponds.
Would you like me to take that?
Sure. And so anything that looks like a pond in a wetland really is just a wetland.
No.
Oh.
Time of year, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean by looks like.
Okay, so I'm doing aerial reconnaissance. You're looking at remote imaging. And there's an area that looks like
What
it's
time of
fully-
year was the picture taken?
it's in winter.
Okay.
Okay, so you could say, oh,
There's
that's
a-
a pond.
There's a lot of hazelnut fields that could be counted as a pond. If you're looking then.
I'm not trying to prove that there's ponds because I've looked at how do you handle it?
Mhm.
You would handle it by disregarding that piece of information because it's not reliable.
Well, I mean, like I said, it depends on what wetland definition you're using and how you're doing your mapping.
Okay.
So I would never use a winter photo in my mapping because you're gonna get a lot of false positives.
Right.
I use July, August, it has to be really dry. And if it's still wet, then it could be a wetland.
All right, well, that's helpful. How do you want to handle ponds? What's your recommendation?
I had no ideas for handling.
Okay.
Yet.
Okay. Next, want to go into L?
Yep. I didn't have any, oh wait, the only thing I had was
Yeah,
L.
Can we go back to Grove?
Yeah.
Late breaking news, I apologize. We'll thank Miss Janie, who's in the audience. We do have a definition of grove in chapter 808. Grove means a group of trees providing at least 1/2 acre of canopy.
Group of
Cool.
trees?
And I think the only place in the code, because as we talked about, don't have any regulations, I think we use that term somewhere in the tree fund section. Olivia says, although I don't see it. Oh, so
It's
the
in-
Tree Canopy Preservation Fund, it says that money can be used for acquisition, maintenance, and preservation of groves of trees within the city or Salem urban growth boundary. And then that 5% can be used in parks, public right-of-ways, et cetera.
And the group of trees that cover,
A 1/2 acre canopy.
but doesn't talk about okay,
That's all. That's the current definition.
got it.
Thank you, Natalie, for that.
I don't know. Did we want to do that in addition to what we had?
The Oregon White Oaks?
Yeah.
I think, well, again, the intent on this particular provision is not to suggest the development of a new regulation. And therefore, I don't think we have to be too worried about the definition. I think we want to try and get at the intent.
Yeah.
So I think we can, but
Reject
if we
this.
can harmonize it with Salem, that would be best. Instead of 1/4 acre, they use 1/2.
Okay.
But that would make sense to me to,
Okay, so I ended up with Oregon white oak groves mean a contiguous stand of Oregon white oak group. Oh. Oregon white oak group of trees requiring 1/2 acre of canopy. I was trying to use the exact language. Mean a group of. Oops! Oh no. Group of Oregon white oak. Requiring 1/2.
and I think what we want to get at is it doesn't have to be all Oregon White Oaks. There's always some mix in there.
Yeah.
Want me to do some more research?
Yeah, how would you say that? Had 50%, which was arbitrary.
I think anything is ultimately going to be arbitrary.
Unless there's research that says.
I'll go research it. Absolutely. All right. Yep. So that gets us through K. do we want to end now or do you have more? Let's breeze through your edits.
Thing on L and a couple small things on.
Okay,
N.
let's,
Yep.
what's yours on L?
Okay. L comes before M. I had on 6, just strike out the last sentence because it does the same thing in 5. I think we should say it in one place.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yep, that makes sense.
Okay. M. That word mean. Oh, why do we have part M? That was my question.
Why
I
do
mean, like, should we say why we have it?
we don't say that anything else?
And then,
Which one?
no, I made it. I wrote it. Oh, sorry. I did have one more edit on the last bullet on. It's getting chaotic. L8. And just to say, instead of federal eagle management guidelines, do the bald.
Bald and Gold Eagle Protection Act?
Yeah, BG. Yeah. That's what that means.
Yes.
And it was already,
Oh, it doesn't, we don't need the, oh, no.
nope,
that's
it's
right.
already in there.
Yeah.
So we're good. Cool. All right, back to M. Oh, I just wanted to combine 5 and 6. The city has a robust urban forestry program, including an aggressive
Sure.
program.
Yeah, that's good.
To manage.
I think we can also add, there are a couple examples from the floodplain report that we just got that I
Mhm.
can include in here. I think would be useful. Talked at the Minto Island Conservation
Mhm.
Area.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add?
Nope. Excuse me.
That's all right. Let's quickly review before we finish up. So what are we gonna,
Sorry, I did, maybe.
okay.
Voluntary. It was, recommendations.
Yeah, I agree. Hold on. Okay.
Let's touch on this.
What are your thoughts?
Okay, so my pencil whipping, 4, put wildlife instead of natural habitat.
Wait a minute, where's this?
Yes, 4.
The last word, 2 words in 4, bullet, 3, 4. Recommendations, number 4,
Ecosystem services and habitat value?
and wildlife habitat.
And wildlife have, okay.
Develop, instead of rehabilitation, restoration.
I don't like that word. And I'll tell you why. Because there's a lot of debate over what it means to restore and what's
Sure,
what's,
like what's T is 0, time is 0.
yeah, and what's the appropriate reference space, and that gets to be very complicated.
Mhm.
And I think that whether you want to restore something or what exact treatment is, depends on the specific area. So if I say restore, I think that's, so I just used
So
rehabilitate.
rehabilitation sounds.
I would welcome any other language. Well, but that was, because that was very specific.
Well, it
Right.
is what the language is for people that do that work. But, and we kind of just went through,
But when I say
Yeah.
restore to the people of Salem,
Like in-
they don't like it.
okay, I don't like making up language about natural resources. Like I just don't.
Okay, well, sometimes we're gonna have to make concessions to communicate. So I know if I put restore down, people are gonna say, there's no way we're gonna restore Salem stream capacity to a pre-Columbian state. And I would say, you're right, that's never gonna happen. That's not what we're talking about. but that will impede my communication with my ability to talk to people.
All right.
Develop strategies to improve and manage.
Or just develop management plans.
But we want them better.
Yeah,
Why would you develop a management plan to make it worse?
Well, you might develop a management plan to keep it the same.
yeah, just say improve maybe.
Okay, maybe we need to, I need to think about if
Yeah.
restoration's off the table.
Okay.
What would fit?
Better is a good word.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. We don't have to decide tonight, but that is my concern with the word restore.
Okay.
So-
I'll think on it.
Okay. Lisa, you're getting by without any assignments here. I'm worried about
Yeah.
this.
No, I'm thinking,
That's it.
well, basically, I'm trying to think of additional species to add. That we talked about earlier.
Okay. You
So
want
that-
to,
Yeah, I want to do
think
that.
through how to define what the species list is?
I don't know what format. I want a list of native species, but do I have to have it defined by some kind of regulation, or can we just list them, or can we,
I will tell you how I started out.
okay,
I started out by compiling a list.
Yes, for the video.
Compiled a list of all Willamette Valley species that were on the federal,
okay.
that were on a federal list, which included in, what is it, endangered and threatened?
Mhm.
I would get the list wrong.
There's multiple and different, yeah,
Okay,
Endangered
so,
Species Act, and then there's state level.
yeah.
Right. So the Endangered Species Act has two categories.
Mhm,
And then we have our own endangered, Oregon has an Endangered Species Act.
mhm.
And that has, it's not quite the same word. I never remember it. It's threatened, endangered, there also species of concern.
Yeah,
And then we have Willamette Valley key species from the Oregon Conservation Plan.
oh, okay,
So I have listed all of those.
all right,
Right, so the challenge in listing all of those is that a number of them simply will not ever live in Salem.
okay,
So it's
okay.
like, what is it, white-tailed deer? I'm not gonna, Salem's not gonna be a
Selective.
habitat for, yeah. So I can give you that list.
Yeah, I would like to look
Yeah,
at it.
yeah.
I may not
I-
have any good ideas, but I would like
Yeah.
to look at it if I may.
Yep, I will be happy to do that. And we can just simply, maybe just figure out a way to reference it, attach it.
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking about while I'm over here.
So, do we want to meet? Sorry again, every time do we want to meet, when's the next time we want to meet?
When's our next, how about the 14th? What's the one in February? Or is it March? Sorry. We're all tired.
What
Yeah.
year is it? So the 10th is the next planning commission date. We canceled
Yeah.
that meeting.
Yeah.
So we could meet then. Or the next planning commission meeting that we have planned is on the 24th.
The 24th? How does that sound?
Right now, all we have is the
Stairs.
fire chief coming to talk about single stair buildings
Okay.
development. At this point, we could have other items.
Okay,
That sounds good.
Get there, but.
okay. So the 24th?
Yeah.
So that
Okay.
means any content that we create between now and then needs to get to you by the 17th?
We will mail it out the 17th, and President's Day is the day before, so we won't have any time to work on it. So it'd be great
On
if we
Friday.
got it on Friday the 13th.
Well, that's why we pushed it out. So yeah, okay, Friday the 13th. And Lisa, just in terms of resources and everything, if we commit to limiting our meeting to an hour, is that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
For the report that was edited, I will send it out for everyone to have a
Oh,
copy.
good, that
Yeah.
would be helpful.
And then that's where any edits that are going to continue to happen would be from that version
be
at the
from
next
that
meeting
version.
there tonight.
And I will
Yeah.
bring in my computer next time, so we don't need to steal your computer.
The one we brought died. It wasn't charged, so that's.
Oh,
why.
I just felt bad that you were.
It's
saying
fine.
that.
But yeah, you can do that.
But I will take care of the computer next time. Okay,
And then we'll have minutes to adopt from this meeting and the last meeting.
do you need me to prepare an agenda?
We
Nope.
can prepare it unless there's additional items. You want to tell us
No.
additional items besides keep working on this report?
Yeah.
Okay, then that's what we'll put on it.
We're adjourned. Thank you
Okay.
for everyone's patience. I'm sorry it took 4 people to staff us. Now I see what the problem is. Never occurred to me that we